Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Many kids returning to school this week, starting as early as today for Huntsville City Schools. But that also means you'll see an increase in commuter traffic, school zone slowdowns, and a larger police presence. Just last year, that higher enforcement led to 249 stops and 234 citations in Huntsville, thanks to the Zero in the Zone initiative. However, HPD tells Fox 54 the goal this year isn't to meet a quota, but to make a change in people's driving habits. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us what local law enforcement is doing to keep school zones safe.
From the first day of class through the last day of August, Huntsville police are ramping up traffic safety enforcement with the annual Zero in the Zone campaign. That means on your way to and from work, you'll see more officers on the road, especially in your school zones. They're already watching school zones for a variety of traffic violations like speeding, distracted driving, and ignoring safety patrol aids at intersections and crosswalks. Those safety patrol aids have been prepping for the back-to-school rush for weeks, telling you to pay attention so you can help keep children safe. And they're working with Huntsville City Schools to watch the roads for the city's 20,000 students across over 40 different schools or programs. And the Huntsville Police Department is telling you to watch out, saying this initiative is one of their highest priorities of the year.
I would like to say that that's most of the people in this community. Anybody that's a parent, your safety of your children is the highest priority on your list. And anytime you think it's in jeopardy, it's very serious things. That's something the Huntsville Police Department understands very much so. It's something that we treat very high above pretty much every other priority. You're talking about the future of not only the city of Huntsville, you're talking about the future of the world. And taking someone's life away, a child's life, you're taking away and impacting way more than what you think. You're impacting an entire community, not just a family.
Yeah, very important, especially as the school starts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we know there was an incident last year where there was an unfortunate situation with a kid. But according to HPD, they've also been training safety patrol aides. It's like an all hands on deck effort.
Yeah, they have close to 70 right now. I mean, that's a few for a large amount of schools. I think we had said 40 schools or programs in the Huntsville area that Huntsville City Schools covers. But I mean, I don't know, that makes 1 to 2 for every spot. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, they have been training. They have been doing orientations like we covered last week, trying to get ready for the school year a little bit.
Yes, and I also want to say too that Sergeant Chris Jackson, he gave a heartfelt statement.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little more emotionally laden than you might expect from, the police.
Right.
But, I think it's important stuff. It's kids' lives, really.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Caleb.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Well, school may have kicked off for some students today, but it still felt like summer. This is a look from Waterloo. Looks like the clouds, the sky has opened up a little bit. We see a little bit of cloud cover, but we've had that rain and sunshine, a little bit of mix today. Jordan, will we see any relief as more students prepare to go back to school?
Yeah, definitely no relief across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and I assume in this case relief would come in the form of a little bit of consistency across the Tennessee Valley. That is just simply something that is not in the cards. Even right now, we're talking about a mixed bag, a little bit of everything across the Tennessee Valley. Some of us quiet, some of us get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. Other folks are dealing with some locally heavy rain and maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder. For example, down 231 south of Huntsville, we're talking about some pockets of heavier rain. That activity beginning to bleed into the 431 corridor as well. A little bit of thunder thrown into the mix, probably a little bit of lightning, and then back across Highway 72 as you're heading out of the city of Huntsville. Those folks also talking about a little bit of rain. Now, while our friends in Waterloo might be talking about plenty of sunshine, the folks elsewhere in northwest Alabama also talking about some heavy rain. Highway 72 back into Killen, back into Florence. We're talking about some pockets of rain, some lighter rain just to the south of the Shoals. Now, there is more rain in the forecast as we finish off the work week, and yes, even as we head into the weekend. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
We've learned one person injured following a shooting at a Limestone County gas station this morning. Crews called to the gas station on the 6400 block of Greenbrier Parkway around 7:45 a.m. Huntsville Police Department says investigators determined Alfonso Hayes and the victim got into an argument that escalated when Hayes allegedly shot the man. Don Webster with HIMSI says the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Officers arrested Hayes on a charge of aggravated assault involving a gun. He was taken to the Limestone County Jail. A Union Grove man arrested following a child sexual abuse investigation. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office says they received a tip last month involving alleged child sexual abuse material shared on social media. Authorities identified the suspect as Sebastian Brooks and obtained a search warrant. Deputies arrested Brooks yesterday at a home in Union Grove and charged him with possession of child porn, possession of meth, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He's held on a $15,000 bond. During the arrest, deputies also say they found a second man hiding inside. Authorities say Blake Huckabee gave deputies a false name before learning his real identity and finding he had active warrants. They also say Huckabee resisted arrest, hitting and kicking, causing 2 deputies to suffer minor injuries. Huckabee now faces charges of using a false identity, resisting arrest, and a probation violation warrant, both held in the Marshall County Jail. A former Alabama A&M University student filing a lawsuit arguing the university failed to properly respond after the student reported being sexually assaulted by a former residence hall director. The lawsuit alleges the incident involving Calvin Lee happened in August of 2024 and claims the university ignored prior warning signs about Lee's alleged misconduct. According to the lawsuit, the student later left the university due to the trauma. The plaintiff seeking more than $75,000 in damages and a jury trial. Lee pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor harassment charge and was sentenced to 2 years of probation. Fire and rescue crews responded to a home in Huntsville early this morning. Huntsville Fire and Rescue says firefighters were called to a home in the 1300 block of Huntsville Hills Drive after a jogger noticed the fire and alerted responders. Well, take a look. Crews arrived and quickly contained the flames to the home's garage, preventing the fire from spreading to the rest of the house. No injuries were reported. An Alabama 11-year-old ended up in the emergency room after picking up a dollar bill contaminated with meth. This happened Monday at a Walmart in Daphne. Police say the child's mother called police after her son found a folded up dollar bill with a white substance inside. She took the child to the hospital to get checked out. Police say the substance tested positive for meth. The boy, his mom, and sister all tested negative for exposure. Daphne police are now looking through security footage to find who dropped the dollar.
We were able to see the young man pick up the dollar bill, and we have LPO searching to see if maybe they could tell who dropped it. But as of right now, it's still under investigation. We do believe this was isolated. It doesn't appear it was left maliciously, or it probably just fell out of somebody's pocket or bag.
Investigators are working with Walmart to figure out who dropped the contaminated money. The U.S. Army and the Tennessee Valley Authority are taking their partnership to the next level, aiming to keep local military facilities fully powered. Today, leaders signed a new agreement to harden energy grids at Redstone Arsenal and the Tennessee Valley against blackouts, cyber attacks, and even severe weather. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell attended the signing this morning and breaks down what this partnership means for Redstone Arsenal and for your neighborhood.
It's a new direction for energy security at Redstone Arsenal and the Tennessee Valley. The U.S. Army and TVA officially partnering to explore ways to make sure local military installations never go dark.
We no longer live in a world where we can definitely count on the commercial grid. We know that there are threats to the grid. So having resilient power sources on post inside the fence line is critical.
To prepare for those threats, the Army routinely tests its systems using ethical hackers and black start exercises, simulating what happens if the base loses grid power.
And just talk tactics, professionals talk logistics, and there's no more important form of logistics than energy. Everything that we need to do in the future of warfare involves energy, particularly electricity.
To meet that demand, the Army says it's taking an all-of-the-above approach to power generation. Instead of focusing solely on carbon emissions, they are exploring on-base sources like natural gas, nuclear, or solar power. Leaders from both parties say the ultimate goal is to harden the infrastructure against cyber attacks and severe weather.
We really believe that energy security is national security. And so looking forward to the collaboration help us.
And this agreement doesn't just benefit the installation. Army leaders emphasize that Redstone is not an island. Because thousands of soldiers and their families live outside the arsenal's gates, they want to generate enough backup power to push out to the surrounding neighborhoods during an emergency, ensuring that no matter what happens to the regional grid, the military's mission stays fully powered. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Army leaders noted that today's signing also cancels a prior energy deal for off-site solar that would have cost the Army $40 million over the next 20 years. The Tennessee Valley Authority's TVA Cares program also awarded $446,000 in funding to 16 nonprofits today. TVA and Athens Electric presented the grants today at Athens City Hall. Recipients included the Athens City Schools Foundation, Community Table, and United Way of Athens Limestone County, among others. Officials say the grants will help fund STEM education, scholarships, meals for seniors, prescription assistance, literacy programs, and food for families across Limestone County.
The more participation that we can show, ideally that will allow us to continue the program.
It's a free breakfast program offered to every student at Madison City Schools ahead of the start of the new school year. Details ahead. This Wellness Wednesday, we highlight the importance of healthcare centers in our communities, and we hear from them next. The first full weeks of August marks National Health Center Week, showcasing and celebrating the importance of community health centers across the nation. And this Wellness Wednesday, Fox 54 spoke with 3 local organizations about the importance of having health care for all.
We're able to provide services in the community that a lot of people need deeply.
Being able to provide access to quality healthcare services is our mission. I hear over and over again is that I cannot find a primary care provider.
As Fox 54 spoke with local community health centers, the importance of their missions became clear. Emma Gold with Thrive Alabama tells us that as the Rocket City grows, so does the need for health care.
It's a vital resource. With how many people are coming into the city every day, honestly, as it grows and grows, there's less providers to be able to see the same amount of people. And so we want to be a local grown office that people can come to.
Those resources are something Happy Health CEO Michelle Johnson also mentioned, adding that pointing patients in the right direction is critical.
Well, part of that is understanding and knowing the resources that are available within our community so that we can get patients to the resources of what they really need. And so that's a part of our goal, right, is to help and understand what that patient needs, being able to define that need, and then get that patient to the correct resource.
But not every patient is in the Rocket City. Paola Rios with Central North Alabama Health says it's also important to serve rural communities.
It may be more difficult for rural communities, people in rural areas to access healthcare, which is why these clinics are so critical to be able to take care of our entire community across the Tennessee Valley.
Dr. Kathy Cornelius, a provider with Central North Alabama Health Services, added to the importance of health centers from her perspective.
Health centers like us that not only can we provide for acute urgent things, as well as chronic diseases, but preventable things. It's very important for health centers like us to survive everywhere it's highly utilized if we continue to stay viable and available.
And check this out. All three organizations we spoke with today will hold a community block party this Saturday, which will include free health exams. It's at Butler Green at Campus 805 and kicks off at 4 p.m. Find more Wellness Wednesday topics right here on the Fox 54 app. Mission Starship recovery for SpaceX after the spacecraft crashed following a flight test. We have a look ahead. While we have our eyes on the sky, Jordan, will we have dry sky tonight?
Yeah, despite the fact that we're talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, I do think we are going to be dry as we head into the overnight. But what about the Thursday morning commute, and what about Thursday afternoon? We'll talk about it in just a minute.
Over County 911, what's the address of your emergency room? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation. And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Madison City Schools welcome students tomorrow, and this year the district is ensuring they won't have to pay a dime to enjoy the most important meal of the day. Thanks to a grant, all students, no matter the grade or income status, can enjoy free breakfast at any Madison City school. But officials made it clear it's important students take part for the program to continue.
There are no guarantees that this will continue into the school year 27-28. So that is, because mainly it is funded by the Alabama State Legislature. So it's really up to them if they're going to continue the program into the next school year. The more that we can show the benefit of the grant and how we are able to utilize it, the more participation that we can show, ideally that will allow us to continue the program and receive that funding for an additional school year.
Clark says MCS breakfast meals include protein, grain, and a selection of fruit. Yeah, you can't even see any sunshine here. Lots of cloud cover atop of Montesano. We had that on and off rain today. But you know what? Speaking of sunshine, I'm noticing that we're getting less daylight now. We're already moving into fall.
Yeah, we are getting that much closer to the bar months. We talked about this yesterday. Over the course of the month of August, we are going to lose about 50 minutes of daylight.
Yeah, that's an hour basically.
Yeah, basically. And that I think is really going to have a real impact. And I think it's something you'll notice, especially by the time we get to the end of the month and then creep into the early days of September, which in my opinion is when fall starts. I know the grocery stores already have all of the pumpkin flavored things out. Now my wife is the one that does the grocery shopping, but I still have a very strict rule. No pumpkin things in the house until September. September. It just seems more appropriate. We're talking about a little bit of rain, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder this evening in various locations across the Tennessee Valley, notably here in the Huntsville metro area, though the bulk of the activity beginning to push its way to the south of the Huntsville metro, kind of following along the 231 corridor, kind of beginning to push its way to the east a little bit, kind of beginning to move into the 431 corridor down into Owens Crossroads. So those folks might be talking about a little bit of rain. We're talking about some lighter rain back across different portions of 565, kind of in between Huntsville and Madison, and then kind of sitting just to the north of Highway 72. We're talking about some pockets of heavier rain as well. If we can continue our way down 72 back into northwest Alabama, those folks are still talking about some rain. I believe a flood warning is going to be in effect for Lauderdale County until right around 7 or 7:30 because this rain has kind of been a persistent feature for the last couple of hours. Some folks across far northwest Alabama have picked up anywhere between 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches of rain over the last couple of hours, and we're still talking about some Florence and then down into the shoals. A lot of this activity beginning to lighten up a little bit. Definitely some good news. The rain is not as heavy as it was even a half hour or 45 minutes ago. There is, however, other opportunities for rain in the forecast. Not right away, though. By the time we get to the Thursday morning commute, it does look like we are going to be dry. Some of us get to enjoy a fair amount of sunshine. But then through the course of Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, very much rinse and repeat, where the scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a popular feature across the Tennessee Valley. But then we dry out as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. However, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, same story, different day. Scattered showers and thunderstorms build back into the area. And just like clockwork, it'll clear out as we head into the overnight and then early into your Saturday morning. Now, through the course of Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, I think we're going to get a little bit of a change across the Tennessee Valley where the activity is going to become just a bit more widespread. We're not going to be talking about any severe weather or anything like that, but the activity we've seen over the last couple of days is just simply going to fill in a little bit more. So take note of that. If you have any outdoor plans, anything you want to get done outside on Saturday, I would do that during the first half of the day as opposed to the second half of the day. Temperatures currently sitting in the upper 70s and lower 80s, 84 right now in Huntsville, 83 in Coleman. We drop into the lower 70s as we head into the overnight. Bus stop forecast tomorrow morning, not bad, honestly, pretty great. 76 at 8, 79 by 9, so temperatures hanging out in the mid and upper 70s. It is going to be just a touch on the humid end of the spectrum. Have a good look at the next 7 days. We get to the lower 90s tomorrow afternoon, 91 degrees. Lower 90s pretty consistently Thursday. 91 on Friday, 90 degrees Saturday, 91 degrees on Sunday. So kind of continuing to hang out in the 90s even through the weekend. I think Sunday is going to be a little bit drier compared to what I have for you on Saturday. So Sunday definitely going to be the winner of the 2 days this weekend. 92 on Monday, 91 on Tuesday, 90 degrees by the time we get to next Wednesday.
SpaceX plans to recover its Starship mega rocket. That's what Elon Musk posted on social media. The upper stage part of the world's biggest rocket has been floating in the Indian Ocean since its most recent flight test on July 24th. It landed intact for the first time ever since flight tests began back in 2023, marking a major milestone. SpaceX has not said exactly how it plans to recover the spacecraft. Experts say it's unlikely to be in any condition to be reused due to exposure to salt water. Well, bargain hunters, yard sale connoisseurs, and treasure seekers making their way through North Alabama this week for the world's longest yard sale. The 127 yard sale returns from Michigan to Alabama, ending in Gadsden and spans 6 states. The annual event started in 1987, originally just in Tennessee and Kentucky, but over the years, it's grown into Alabama. It's a big boost to local economies, generating millions of dollars of revenue every year. The sale begins tomorrow and runs through Sunday. The Rocket City Trash Pandas will host its first ever drone show at Toyota Field tomorrow. The event is part of Grateful Dead Night, which includes a performance from Grateful Dead tribute band, Milltown, at 5 p.m. It's followed by the team's game against the Birmingham Barons at 6:35 p.m. The post-game drone show will feature 300 synchronized drones, creating animated images and designs above the stadium. Mo, what's new with sports?
Well, recently the UNA Lions put on full gear and pants. We'll talk to Coach Brent Dearman on why he was so happy to have his team in pants. Next in sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9. Featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Day 6 of UNA's fall camp wrapping up in the night sky under the lights in the shows last night. The Lions were feeling good all throughout the session because it was the first time that the team strapped on the full gear. Now the acclimation period is over, and that allowed Brent Dearman and his staff to see their guys in live action situations. The Purple Lions defense had quite a day because they could go through the full motion of tackling all the way down to the ground. But eventually, the offense got going and challenged their counterparts in the team drills. Now, according to head coach Brent Dearman, Tuesday was a good night, not only because they had full gear, because they were able to put on pants.
Oh, it's huge today. Anytime you put pants on for some reason, I don't know if there's something in the detergent where they wash the pants in, but it gets the guys amped up when they get to pull full pads on. And there's some battles at every position. Anytime I'm battling, and I'm going up and down the depth chart, I got to come out here every day and prove myself. So I feel like the guys were locked in and brought some energy out here today.
Speaking of UNA, the countdown to the Lions season opener is on, everybody, because on Saturday, August the 29th, they will take on Sanford in the Financial Partners Bowl over at Joe Davis. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Our SEC football teams kicking off preseason camp today across the state. Down on the Plains, Coach Alex Golich getting his first taste of that August heat on the Plains as he pushes the Auburn Tigers through their first practice. Now coming up tonight in Sports at 9, we'll hear from members of the Auburn Tigers and Alabama Crimson Tide and get their thoughts on day 1 of preseason camp. Let's go back to Kanisha.
Yeah, Mo, also tonight at 9, a community pleading for the release of a 19-year-old currently in ICE detention. We have this story from Fox 54's Valentina Chalala ahead. An Enterprise woman accused of killing her 2-year-old daughter now looking to have her murder trial moved out of Coffee County. Those details just ahead. And a SpaceX rocket ending its year-long journey through space by slamming into the moon. A collision course. You've got the details tonight at 9. Before we let you go, a team of firefighters rescued a turtle while using a very interesting rescue vehicle. Take a look for yourself. Members of the Lafayette, Colorado PD teamed up with an animal protection officer and floated this flamboyant flamingo to rescue a turtle trapped in a fishing line. The rescue has gone viral on social media, with people praising the responders' efforts and their style, leaving reactions that were equally commending and comedic. Now, I haven't seen this on social media, but there's a lot going on.
I mean, there's so much to discuss here. First, the NYPD has a lot of different vehicles that they use. They can't even come close.
No, not at all.
To the flamingo.
Well, what was so funny, I know when we discussed this, I thought, along with some others, that it was like a real flamingo. I was like, wait, what? I hadn't seen the video yet, y'all.
Right.
No.
I mean, where were they going to find a flamingo that size?
True.
You know, they typically don't get that big.
This is true.
The boat really does give the flamingo much more girth than it earns, because don't they have like very lanky legs?
They do.
Huh.
They're so pretty though.
I've never thought about a flamingo to the extent that we are currently thinking about flamingos.
They're in Florida.
Okay.
Pretty in
Do they just run wild?
I haven't seen one. Now, iguanas, that's another story for
Yeah,
another
we don't
day.
like them.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see you tonight at 9. Have a good one.